Boys and girls, I am worn out. This is the gear for today. In a sense, it's nice to use the same gear because right now, I don't know what I would have picked because we did a lot of moving today, a lot of carrying, that kind of thing. I did a lot of toe touches. I was up in the attic handing stuff down to the person standing on the ladder. And so I was bending over with weight. I should have stretched out before. Anyway, man, I am just so tired and worn out. So, and you know how it goes sometimes when you are moving. Got a big project you do without sleep sometimes to make the deadline. So yeah, I finally got a nap today, and so that was I just chilled out and finally got to get some rest. All right, so let us do just a little shave here. 2, 3, 4. See, who knows what I'm going to say today, right? 582 looks like the count before this shave. So it's 583 this time. The Owner's Club has been soaking for a good long time in water. I don't think that excessive soaking, I haven't seen it make a difference in the brush break-in. Here's the blade. Timeless open comb, stainless steel, 68 gap. Razor, scalloped top cap, which matches the scalloped base plate, but I have the open comb base plate. So it matches both of them nicely. Chiseled Face Midnight Stag is the scent for the Splash and Cologne. Let's just do some loading. Let's slow down and take a breath and do kind of a normal bowl lather. "23 swirls sounds reasonable. Let's give it a shot. Probably more than I need. Get my face wet. And let's tilt you down and start whipping this up. As you noticed, I shook a lot of water out of the brush. That has a couple of effects. Number one, it imparts less water to your soap. You may want to do that because if you keep pushing water in your soap, maybe it makes it too soft and you pick up too much of it. And so we can mix on this. It's almost like a dry creamy, if I could phrase it that way. And I'm going to have to add some water to make things happen. I've got a jigger here, 40 milliliters, and I used a smaller one years ago, and I just kept discovering that between 15 and 25 milliliters was often what a shave needed, the way I do it, with the amount of water I start off in my brush, that sort of thing. All right, very good. So I'm going to go ahead and add some. And a matter of fact, you know what? Why don't we add 20. That's probably more like 19, but we're not going to nitpick. Friends were so generous and kind and came over to help me move. Man, that just turns it into something that's just so much more enjoyable. And it still wore me out. There's just no way I could have done it by myself. If I was stuck doing it by myself, I probably would have just done it by carload and just taken a longer time to do it. That's probably what I've had to do. Or go to Home Depot or something and get some guys who want to work for a day, you know. The kind of dry lather that I mentioned a minute ago, it has softened up a little bit. It does have a little bit more gloss. This particular lather doesn't seem to get glossy to me. The only time you might get that appearance is where if you already paint some on your face and then you add a little bit of water to your brush and you paint that on, it's not really a homogeneous mixture. It's just a surface kind of shininess. This is also a kind of, that with the coconut oil and stuff, that you see the bubbles in it to a little degree. Splash some water on my face again. And when you have a lather in your brush that you might need to rotate, meaning that lather starts coming out the side of the brush here, you can do what I just did, roll some onto your cheek, then press the brush on top of what you rolled. Now here I am, and let's try something. My friend Greg was talking about how, it's pretty easy for him to add water to his lather because he dips the tips in the water, and that's a very common method that guys have been using for a long time to do that. So I just added some. I don't have anything to dip in right now, and so I just added some sprinkles to the knot. And sometimes you have to be careful with the way it rotates. The way it disperses through the brush, and give it some good kind of working time to really kind of soak in and mix with the other parts of the lather. I definitely meant to take a shower before this shave, but I just habitually just jumped right into the shave because I'm feeling all grungy from the work today. So I'm enjoying this workout on my face. Just be clean. Quick splash of water. I even feel sore just bending over that much. Oh man, I'm a programmer and my kids aren't young anymore. I used to roughhouse with them and play with them and spin them around and all that kind of stuff, get on the floor with them, and that kind of kept me kind of kept me limber, but we don't do that anymore. Might have to, I think maybe that's why guys have midlife crises, right? Go join a gym and buy a sports car. You don't have those natural things keeping you limber anymore. So this is a terrific brush for the painting strokes, but honestly, I don't know too many brushes that are bad at painting strokes. Even ones with prickly tips a lot of times still feel better when you paint. And so the scrubbing is really where you'll be able to tell the difference in a knot. You don't have to do scrubbing. Like I mentioned last time, you could just paint the whole time. That's how some people mix up their lather. You can scrub the whole time, so whatever you feel like doing. I feel like the scrubbing experience really lets you feel the tips and the way the bristles circulate on you, especially with good badger brushes. It's just right along the lines of the perfection of luxury to me, and so it's almost always what I turn to when I want that luxury feeling. And I believe last year for Austere August, I used a badger brush. Was it this one? I think it was this one. And oh, I was so glad that I did that. I enjoyed it the whole month long. Whereas this one, what I'm enjoying about it is not quite as much of a luxury feel, although it does feel very good. It's just not badger, good quality, finest badger with ever so slightly jelly tips. It's not quite that luxurious, but what I'm enjoying is just the knowledge that I'm increasing this brush's age and getting those tips to split more and more. Water. I will still be working at this location for, a week or something. And so I will still be doing some broadcasts from here until I fully kind of start sleeping at the other place. Once I get my work desk and computer set up and all that stuff moved over, then that's more likely when I'll start experimenting with a new bathroom. And this is my friend's bathroom because it's his house that he's renting me a room. And so, of course, I can't really make any alterations. I hope to do something fun, like with mine. It could be cool to have something on the back behind me, like a chalkboard or whiteboard, so that I could have ideas and stuff, talk to you about things. Maybe a small shelf with some of my favorite gear, or once back 4 years ago, when I was renting a room that didn't have a sink. It had a bad bathroom. It was really hot, and then there wasn't really a place for me to put the camera and all that. And so I used a basin of water, and that's got its perks. But then I was able to put the phone on a shelf unit right in front of me, kind of underneath and around the camera. And it was really great to have representative items. As I was having conversation with you, I'd be bringing up some kind of topic, and I'd have a silver tip to pull out and show you right away, just to make the point with a little graphic illustration there, show you exactly what I meant. So I may do something like that. So are we on the 4th pass now? Plenty of lather, so 22 swirls. Probably hit it about right. Probably a little more than I need. It's not as wet as I want, or maybe I pushed it too far with the water and this base just couldn't quite handle it. It's definitely not feeling like a light creamy lather. You know what sometime I might do? I might hook a brush knot up to a drill. Take maybe an old brush that I'm going to throw away and put a screw in it or something. Hook it up to a drill and then mix up a lather with the drill. Because, you know, does this kind of airy, dryish looking, not wet and creamy lather turn into something better with just time and energy and just lots and lots of mixing? I've done it before by hand, but I never got to that nirvana place with this particular kind of base. It never switched over to an amazing lather. But then I just had the drill idea just now, and that could be cool. If we see something, and that wouldn't that be interesting? What you could do is you could have your drill brush, but it could maybe not be the one necessarily that you would use to shave. And so it could mix up your lather. Now you got a bowl of nice creamy lather that's just been worked really well. Then you bring in another brush that maybe you've had soaking, or I don't know. I might play around with that idea. All right. Well, there we go. I could feel it changing and reducing the stubble as I went. I think I'm good to go. Let me do a good rinse off here. So I've got enough lather in the bowl there for maybe two or three passes. Splash here. But it wasn't really an enjoyable lather. I mean, but it got the job done. See, now my friend Greg was talking about the alcohol splash. He used sterling, I believe, and he's doing that challenge where you are using the mutton tallow all month, and I'm going to add a comment to his video. That's like entering a contest to eat ice cream every day of the month, you know. It's just such a gorgeous lather. It is such a high performance yet luxurious and creamy lather that you just wouldn't have to twist my arm too hard, right? If this Midnight Stag challenge didn't exist, and if I wasn't doing it on a regular basis, you know, that sterling mutton tallow would be quite inviting. Especially the Irish Moose soap that he's using. Here's some of it right here. And it's got a nice classic smell to it. And then when you add that amazing performance of the sheep, the mutton tallow, then man, that's just a deadly combination. The splash is on. Oh, and so he's using sterling products, and he's using a sterling splash. And he doesn't get any burn at all. And so, see, that's just the difference between his skin and my skin. His is just either tougher or less sensitive to, you know, certain elements like menthol or alcohol. Alcohol, not menthol. I don't think there's menthol in that particular splash. But he's good with it, no burn, and I envy that. That's a great attribute to have. All right, my friends. I'm glad to get that done. Glad to talk to you guys, but I'm also glad to be laying my head down on the pillow here shortly. So you guys have a good night. Take care. Bye.